think we're going. So, Nana and the mule here. Actually, I'm the mule. Nana's over there. She's doing research on stuff that we're going to... Video games is kind of a research. You need downtime. You have to have downtime. So, we were listing some things the other day, and we were working on this game, and we were researching it, and we went down a rabbit hole, and we spent what?
Yeah, it was about an hour.
At least an hour.
On Google. They kept prompting, to ask questions.
Right.
Well, we can get to that.
But here's the game. Scrabble. Classic game most people have played. Almost everybody, maybe you don't know the history, and we certainly didn't know the history. What's amazing about reselling that we found is that you find out things that you didn't know. And it's kind of like when we started homeschooling, we thought we knew what we were going to get. We thought, well, kids will be this, we'll do this. But it was so much more than we ever thought. Things that we learned as a family, individually, what the kids learned. And it's kind of this way with reselling. We're learning things that we just didn't expect. So let's take a look at this game. We were at an estate sale, and it was one of those fill a box for $50, big box, huge
big
box
for $50.
Smaller box for $25 or $30. And so, of course, we got the big box. And we went through the garage. This house was enormous, but they only really let us in the garage. So we went through beta passes. There was a huge Carhartt coat, big, thick, expensive coat. Some items that had tags on them, they were individually priced, but this one wasn't. So we grab it, shove it in the box. We only found out later that it was supposed to be tagged, and they told us the price that they wanted, and we weren't going to buy it for that price. So we took it out, which suddenly gives us
a whole lot of space in that box.
Right, half a box full of space. So then we go through again, and we're looking at this. They have this little room with these figurines and things. We were in there for a while, and then we were leaving that, and I spotted this game, and I said, just grab the box. And she said, okay. So she grabs it. We get it home. I had heard, board games don't do well, really. And
it depends.
It's hit and miss. It's hit and miss, but
for the most part,
your average board game, especially if you get it at a thrift store, because
who knows
if it's all there. But I had heard that people will buy the tiles and the boards from one of the YouTube videos we see of people who are thrifting, and so we grabbed it. Didn't even open it up. We get it home, and first thing I noticed was the board.
Oh, careful.
Yeah, we got to be careful with those. Okay. So, here's the board. If you notice, there's no writing. There's no names. There's no pencil scribbles on there. It's pristine. And the color, we knew it was old, and you can even see the date that's printed on the board. It's what, 1953? So we're thinking, okay, that's great. So we
had another 1953 Scrabble game that I had listed forever, and nobody cared.
Right.
No views, no asking for offers as I drop my microphone.
Yeah,
sorry.
The magnet clasp doesn't work. That's the one that's broken.
Okay.
Okay. So we open it up.
So I wasn't thinking this is going to be worth anything.
And I noticed there's two different types of tiles. We've got all the regular, we've got the tiles with the letter and then a number. And then there were a whole bunch of tiles that I did not recognize. I'd never seen them before. And here's what they look like. So basically, no number, just the tile. And if you look at the side, I don't know if you can see that.
It's a completely different weight.
Completely different weight. Here's the ones with numbers. And it's almost like it's pressed together, pressed wood. So we start digging. We ask, has there ever been tiles, Scrabble tiles without numbers? And of course, AI says, you've got something there. That's not a regular Scrabble board. In fact, those tiles predate the game. So now we're thinking, okay, this is cool. Let me go there. So we start digging. And what was it? The first thing they said is these tiles, because of they weren't a normal block of wood, they were plywood.
Yeah.
And so we start typing in, well, how much are these worth? And the price starts going up and up and up and up and up. Because I counted out a full set, and then we had what? Like
almost 2 full sets.
Yeah, a full set is 100 pieces back in 1953.
No.
Was it?
No, that was before that.
Okay.
That was the 48.
Because before Scrabble, there was a guy named what was his name? There was a guy who invented the game.
James Bruno.
James Bruno. He invented Lexico.
Is that him? I'm looking at I might be wrong there.
Okay. Well, the pre-Scrabble game was called Lexico. And this guy who started this game, he was actually making these bricks in his home. He was cutting them up and printing them himself.
And stamping
them. Letter with a stamp. He was stamping each brick. And so we're seeing dollar signs. We're getting really excited. But we couldn't understand why, because that's like the 30s and 40s. And this game and the box and the boards was 1953. So we're throwing all this stuff in to AI, and it's giving us all these conflicting things. Of course, the price of the bricks, the pieces starts going down and down and down with each search.
You're like, oh well.
Okay,
so not so valuable.
So then Linda wanted to see the board, so we
Google wanted to see the board.
AI asks us to see the board, so we pull out the board and we start explaining to him, and then
it's the seal on the front.
There's this seal, and it's a sticker, but it's gold. And they said, "Oh, that's what it looks like." Okay. So it keeps asking us more questions as we give it more answers. And we also say that included inside the box were 2 pieces of paper. I got to be careful with these. One was an advertisement for Scrabble Junior. And then we found this. This is it's a piece of paper that says, it basically, you send this in for receipt or for missing tiles. So you tell the company which tiles are missing, and they will send them to you. Apparently, these are very, very rare, this old, because
they would either throw it out or they'd use it.
They'd use them or they'd toss them. So we have to be careful with these pieces of paper. So after, like I said, an hour and a half, we plug in all this information, and it turns out that back in the early 50s, when the board and the box were printed, they had run out of regular Scrabble tiles. So they had all these old Lexico tiles. And the best we can figure out is that this game... So I want to apologize real quick. We ran into some technical difficulties. So I'm just going to continue this as a voiceover. Basically, just to end this long video, and I apologize for the length, this game is what they call a transition game. What the company did was, back in the early 50s, they had so many orders that they ran out of normal tiles, and they had to replace them with these Lexico tiles. So what AI is telling us, that we have a compilation sort of a game with other tiles that don't belong to the original, and thankfully, hopefully, it increases the value, and we're going to put this up, and somebody will find it maybe as a piece of Americana. What's interesting is that we actually have a piece of history. We have what companies did back when they ran out of options. What you know, they just probably, I could just sort of see them scrambling. What are we going to do? We have these orders. Well, go get those tiles. We'll put them with that. So it is fascinating, the things you learn as a reseller, the things you know you're going to learn. So I hope you've enjoyed this little video. I'm going to try to make more of these Tales from the Death Pile videos as we go along. Interesting things that I see, interesting stories that I think are hidden in there. Stories from people, stories from the items themselves. So if you liked what you've seen, please subscribe and like this video, and we'll hopefully bring you more. But I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. So from Nana and the Mule, take care. Bye-bye.